The Premier League just became a war zone. 5 elite clubs, 5 world-class strikers, and one absolutely brutal race for goals. Arsenal unleashed the Swedish machine, who scored 54 goals last season. United signed a 6'5" Slovenian giant with lightning pace. Liverpool grabbed the French finisher, who's already broken records. Chelsea stole Brighton's Brazilian magician. And City, they've still got the Norwegian king, who's terrorized defenses for 3 years. The question isn't who's best right now. The question is, who can reach the absolute highest ceiling this season? Before we crown our ceiling king, let's break down what we're actually measuring here, because being world-class means nothing if you're a square peg in a round hole. Gyökeres is walking into Arteta's 3-2-5 formation like he was custom built for it. The Swede's channel runs and contact absorption, pure Arsenal DNA. Sesko? He's basically Amorim's wet dream. The new United boss perfected a vertical 3-4-3 at Sporting, and now he's got a 6'5" to target man who can actually run. It's frightening. Iketika slides into slots pressing machine like butter. The French forwards link-up play and work rate. Liverpool fans are about to fall in love. João Pedro is Maresca's Swiss Army knife. Striker, number 10, left wing, you name it. Chelsea's positional play just got infinitely more flexible. And Haaland, still the perfect cog in Pep's possession monster, now with £300 million worth of new creativity feeding him. Next, age versus experience, the sweet spot between proven output and untapped potential. We've got Sesko and Iketika at 22 and 23, pure development gold mines. João Pedro at 23 with Premier League experience. Haaland at 25 in his absolute prime. And Gyökeres at 27 hitting that perfect striker sweet spot. Because adaptation speed tells us everything. Some arrived guns blazing. Others needed time to find their rhythm, but who looked most ready for Premier League warfare? Let's start with the absolute units, Sesko and Haaland, 2 Nordic towers standing at 6'5" and 6'4" respectively. But here's where it gets scary. They're not just tall, they're fast. Sesko clocked speeds that put him alongside Gabriel Martinelli and just behind Haaland himself. Imagine a center back's nightmare, a giant who can outrun you to the byline. That's pure terror in boots. Haaland, we already know what 195 centimeter of Norwegian destruction can do. 3 years of Premier League carnage, and defenders still can't handle that combination of size and acceleration. But don't sleep on the smaller assassins. Gyökeres might be just 6'1", but watch him carry the ball through contact. The Swede doesn't go around defenders, he goes through them. His progressive carries at Sporting were obscene. Iketika brings a different flavor, 6'2" of French finesse. He's not bulldozing through tackles like Gyökeres, but his agility in tight spaces, absolutely filthy. And João Pedro at 6'0", he's the smallest of the bunch, but his duel winning percentage at Brighton was elite. Sometimes it's not about being the biggest, it's about being the smartest in contact. Gyökeres and Sesko are your contact specialists. Haaland combines both power and pace perfectly. Iketika is your technical athlete. João Pedro maximizes every inch. Here, Sesko edges it. Why? Because a 22-year-old with that frame and that pace hasn't even reached his physical peak yet. He's basically a prototype for the perfect modern striker. But here's the thing, physicality means nothing if you can't finish, and that's where things get really interesting. Now for the numbers that make grown defenders cry, let's talk about pure, unadulterated goal terrorism. And nobody, and I mean nobody, was more terrifying last season than Victor Gyökeres. 54 goals in 52 games. Read that again. 54. That's not just elite, that's generational. Messi and Ronaldo territory. The Swede was averaging more than a goal per game while dragging Sporting to back-to-back Portuguese titles. But here's what separates the good from the great. Gyökeres wasn't just padding stats against farmers. He scored hat tricks against Manchester City in the Champions League. That's big game DNA. Now Haaland loyalists will say hold up, and they're not wrong. The Norwegian's consistency is genuinely frightening. 22 Premier League goals in what was considered his off-season. Most strikers would kill for that ceiling. Sesko brings something different. XG over performance. At Leipzig, he was turning half chances into goals at a ridiculous rate. 21 goals from positions that should have yielded maybe 15. That's pure finishing instinct. instinct. Ekitike's Frankfurt numbers tell a beautiful story. 15 goals and 8 assists in the Bundesliga. He's not just a finisher, he's a creator. That rounded output is exactly what Slot wants in his system. And Joao Pedro? Don't let the 10 Premier League goals fool you. This man scored in literally every preseason game he started, including braces in the Club World Cup. When the lights are brightest, he delivers. Here's where it gets spicy. Gyökeres won't take penalties at Arsenal. That's Saka's job. Joao Pedro loses them to Cole Palmer at Chelsea. But Sesko? He could be United's designated executioner, but goals are just one piece of the puzzle, because in the modern game, it's not just about what you do with the ball. The Premier League isn't just about individual brilliance, it's about fitting the tactical puzzle perfectly, and some of these fits are absolutely mind-blowing. Let's talk about the match made in heaven, Gyökeres and Arteta's Arsenal. The Swede's profile reads like Mikkel wrote it himself. Channel runs? Check. Contact absorption? Check. Box crashing on cutbacks? Double check. Arsenal's 3-2-5 needs a striker who can pin center backs while Odegaard orchestrates chaos. Gyökeres is literally that player. But wait, there's another tactical love story brewing at Old Trafford. Sesko under Amorim, it's a reunion. The Portuguese boss perfected his vertical 3-4-3 system with strikers exactly like Sesko. Mobile, tall, running in behind, while two number 10s create havoc in the pockets. It's basically copy-paste from Sporting's blueprint. Haaland and Pep's machine? Still terrifyingly perfect. 3 years of symbiosis, now with £300 million worth of new creative talent feeding him. When the system clicks, it's unstoppable. Here's where it gets fascinating. Ekitike might be the most complete system fit of all. Slot's Liverpool demands pressing, linking, and late box arrivals. The Frenchman's 15 goals and 8 assists at Frankfurt? That's exactly the rounded output Slot craves. Plus, those pressing numbers from Germany are absolutely filthy. Joao Pedro brings something different, tactical flexibility. Maresca can use him as a 9, a 10, or even wide left. That versatility is pure gold in chess matches against Pep, Arteta, and Amorim. Ekitike leads this category. His final third pressures at Frankfurt were elite tier. Gyökeres and Sesko are solid. Haaland and Joao Pedro, more selective in their pressing. Here's the kicker. Sesko and Gyökeres have the most room to grow within their systems. Haaland's already mastered his role, but tactical fit means nothing if you can't handle the pressure. And boy, is the pressure about to get intense. Now for the brutal truth. The Premier League doesn't just test your ability, it tests your soul. Haaland? This man is basically Premier League royalty at this point. 3 seasons, 111 goals, and he's faced every tactical setup imaginable. Pep's rotations, injury comebacks, title pressure, golden boot races. He's seen it all and conquered it all. When Arsenal tried to man-mark him, hat trick. When Liverpool pressed him high, 2 goals. The Norwegian has 0 learning curve left. João Pedro brings something precious. Premier League survival instincts. 2 seasons at Brighton taught him the dark arts. How to draw fouls, when to drop deep, which referees to work. That institutional knowledge? Priceless. Plus, he's already thriving under pressure. Club World Cup final, 2 goals against his boyhood club. Ice in his veins. Now here's where it gets interesting. Gyökeres has European pedigree. Champions League hat tricks against City. Title-winning campaigns at Sporting. But Premier League football? That's a different beast entirely. The pace, the physicality, the tactical chaos, it's unmatched worldwide. Ekitike's got the Frankfurt foundation, Bundesliga success, Europa League runs, pressure moments. But again, the Premier League is its own monster. However, his record-breaking 228 second debut goal for Liverpool, that suggests he thrives when the spotlight burns brightest. And then there's Sesko, the ultimate wild card. Bundesliga experience at Leipzig, international pedigree with Slovenia, but 0 Premier League minutes. He's walking into the most demanding league in the world completely blind. That's either catastrophic or genius, depending on how fast he adapts. Haaland owns this. Joao Pedro's cup heroics come second. Gyökeres' City hat trick shows he rises to occasions. Ekitike and Sesko still proving themselves. But here's the thing about experience. Sometimes it caps your ceiling. Sometimes youth and hunger matter more. Some players arrive complete, others arrive dangerous. Sesko's got that rare psychological profile, the quiet confidence of someone who's never had everything handed to him. Watch his interviews. Zero arrogance, maximum ambition. That's the mindset that creates superstars. Plus, he's walking into a rebuilding United where he is the focal point, not a supporting act, not sharing spotlight. Everything runs through him. That kind of responsibility either breaks you or makes you immortal. Ekitike carries a different hunger. The PSG rejection, the Frankfurt resurrection, now the Liverpool opportunity. This man has been counted out before and came back swinging. That chip on the shoulder, it's rocket fuel. And here's the kicker. He's joining a club that just won the Premier League. Success breeds success. Gyökeres brings immigrant mentality to Arsenal. From Portuguese divisions to Premier League spotlight, that journey builds mental fortitude you can't teach. But here's his challenge. Can he handle being the guy at a massive club? Sporting was his kingdom. Arsenal has 60,000 people expecting miracles every week. João Pedro's psychology is fascinating. He's already conquered adversity. His father's imprisonment, the move to England as a teenager, rebuilding his career at Brighton. Now, he's at Chelsea with infinite resources. That combination of struggle-tested mentality plus elite support system? Explosive. Haaland's mind might be his secret weapon. The pressure to maintain perfection would crush most players. Instead, it seems to fuel him. But here's the question. What happens when the goals dry up for the first time in his career? The 2025-26 season starts in days, and this striker battle is about to get absolutely brutal. My money's on the Slovenian giant reaching the highest peak, but football loves proving experts wrong. Drop your predictions in the comments. Who do you think will have the best season? And if you want more tactical breakdowns like this, smash that subscribe button because we're just getting started.